Hey. What it do, what it do? Your boy KQ and Knockout Boxing 86 TV is in the building. Getting ready for another recap, another the morning after show. What's going on with you, Knockout Boxing? What's going on with you?
Oh man, I'm chilling. Great day of boxing yesterday. I'm ready to have a great show, man, and just happy to be a boxing fan this morning, man. We got a lot of questions answered and a lot of changes in the sport of boxing, man. So I'm excited and I can't wait to talk about it today, man.
Yeah, yes, sir. I mean, it's a lot of boxing cards that took place yesterday. I mean, we was on Sky Sports, the Zone, and also Fox. So I was only able to call two fights basically, but both of them, hey, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with what every card yesterday. I was happy with, and with the Keith Thurman finale, I have a few things to say about that, and we're gonna get into that also. So let's see who all in the building right now. Okay, this is our roll call brought to you none by other than Knockout Boxing 86 TV and KQKC Boxing Network. And we got Ray Patterson up in here. We got Chi Town Finest up in here. We got Macadam Mac of the South up in here. And we got I Karma 123 and Mr. DBMH up in here. He's a salute KQ and knockout and chat. Yes, sir. And we got my man, the Skywalker, Tim Monte. It's up
What
in
up,
here.
Tim? What up,
Yes,
I
sir.
Karma? What up, Mac of the South? What up, Shot Town? You supposed to be at work and shit, man. What you
Yes,
doing?
sir. He said at the gig, outstanding call last night. OG, wow, wow, wow.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
we got my man Ricky E245, always showing love. Then we got my man Lance Mansfield. Everybody getting notifications now. All right, yes, sir. We are live. So, what's going on, Knockout Man? First of all, I know that you were glued to the TV yesterday and you
Mm-hmm.
weren't taking your eyes off. I hope you got something to eat and took a break. But hey, I was
Yeah, I got something to eat, man. I owe my wife a lot of time today because she was running around getting food, taking care of the kids, all that shit. I didn't move. I didn't move.
okay.
I was in front of my TV all damn day. Only thing I did do is I did the fireplace. I started the fire and shit so we could have a fire. So because
Uh,
it was like 30 degrees yesterday. It's cold as shit.
oh,
Cold as shit
summertime.
here in Dallas, Texas, man. You know what I'm saying? So, so I gotta be on it today because I ain't do shit. I ain't do shit but watch boxing all day yesterday from like 1 o'clock
Uh,
all the way to like 11:30, 12 o'clock at night after the Keith Thurman fight was over. So,
okay. Oh, I see you, Charles Miller. Yes, sir. I see you coming in here. Mike
what
Ryan.
up,
I see you
Charles?
coming in here. I see the Kiggy is up in here. He's an OG. That was one of your best commentaries I seen from you.
Yeah,
Oh
that was
man.
fire.
Yes, sir.
That
All
was
right.
fire. What
Yeah.
up, Crush?
Yeah. And you got Crush the Legend up in here. All right. Now, the Skywalker said, "I feel you. My wife hates me on boxing days like yesterday." But you know what, man? Boxing, it took a big turn yesterday. Boxing gave us a lot. Matter of fact, it's like they trying to push everything right at us right now because we're looking at 3 weeks straight of boxing. 3 weeks that I count so far. It might be more than that. So we're gonna be busy for the next 3 weeks, baby. All right.
Hmm.
All right. Let's take it off, man. Let's get it. Let's get it popping, man. All right. What's your first poison of choice?
Man, let's talk about the Sky Sports card. Let's talk about Clarissa Shields, man.
Okay.
Clarissa
Yeah.
Shields, she made a ring return after taking a stab at MMA. You know what I'm saying? What's your thoughts on that fight? I know you was calling it, but what you think, man? Was you impressed? Was you happy? What
Uh,
what'd you take away from that fight with her?
okay. Well, a salute to Mrs. Knockout Boxing 86 TV.
Hey
What's
baby.
going on, my sister? All right. Appreciate you coming in. Now, one thing I can say about Clarissa Shields, she was on point last night. I can't say that she done anything wrong. She did stay flat-footed. She didn't give a lot of lateral movement, and of course, she wanted to pretty much try to knock her out. Because when you stand flat-footed like that, we all know as boxing fans that your power comes from your feet on up. So what Clarissa Shields did was she pretty much stayed pretty much flat-footed, and she was throwing her punches, and she had great balance. In other words, she threw like a Cuban fighter. She threw a right hand, and she got right back in place, ready for the counter. Only thing about it was she was fighting a tough young lady. She was only 23 years old, and she can take a punch. Like I was calling the fight, I said, man, she must have cement in the head and in the jaw because Clarissa Shields was 10 off on her every chance she get. Now, she was fatigued, but it wasn't fatigue because she was tired. She was tired of whooping that ass. That was you tired of.
Man.
Wow. Yes, sir. So, but I will say this. She's back, and hopefully she'll be back to stay. But she said she's still gonna try to do MMA. I'd rather see her stick to boxing or stick to MMA, whatever makes her happy. But I think she should pick one because I think it's dangerous. If you're gonna be a boxer and you go in MMA, you can get your jab arm hurt, you can get your dominant arm hurt. Anything can happen, and that can happen in another sport, which is not on boxing. So, I mean, you got to pick one or the other and be the best you can be in one of them. So that's how I look at it. And hey, congratulations, Clarissa Shields. Now, if I may, knockout, I just want to expand on this just a little bit more. Now, Miss Marshall, she was in the audience last night, and of course we saw the antics. Okay, and the antics is she was bored at the fight. She was yarning and like, oh wow, this is so boring. Then when Clarissa Shields was doing her post interview with Sky Sports, she walked up to her and hey, I wiped the floor with you, and that's how it all started. And that I think was very kind of disrespectful. I think she should have gave her a little more respect than that. Of course, these are women and these are women fighters. So that means they got that testosterone in them too. All right. But Clarissa Shields and Marshall, I would love to see that fight. Now it's heating up. Now it's getting personal. Now, of course, Eddie Hearn had a lot to do with that because that sound like Eddie Hearn. But I think Savannah Marshall is represented by somebody else now. I'm not for sure. But
yeah, they both with Sky Sports.
Okay, now this is the whole reason why Clarissa Shields went over to Sky Sports. They want to set up a fight with Savannah Marshall later on this year. So, like Clarissa Shields said, hey, you didn't come to the United States, so I had to come to you. So that's what champions do. Earl Spence came to Kell Brook. That's what champions do. So that's all I got on that. All right,
man. I like it. You want did you say respect? Man, listen, this is boxing, KQ. This ain't a damn.
I know.
They ain't shooting pool. They didn't go out on a date to Dave and Buster's or no shit. This boxing. What you need to respect her for? Talk your shit, Savannah.
I heard that.
Talk your shit. But one thing I did before I go into the fight or whatever, one thing that I didn't like though, Alicia Baumgartner, who is the champion down at 130 pounds, she couldn't wait 5 seconds before taking a shot at Clarissa. Says, oh, I'm over here questioning Clarissa's power. And I was like, damn, that's kind of messed up because I don't hear Savannah Marshall and Katie Taylor doing shit like that to each other. No. So I just wish, like, what's so hard about saying, hey, great performance? Like, how you gonna shit on somebody that won on every scorecard 100-90? She didn't drop a single round. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't like that part, but when I saw that on Twitter or whatever, but Savannah and Clarissa, man, listen, hype the fight up, get the fight big, because we already got Serrano versus Katie Taylor. Let's get another mega fight going with Clarissa and Savannah. So Savannah, talk your shit, fall asleep shit. If she'd bought a damn sleeping bag to the damn arena, I wouldn't have cared. Like, whatever, talk noise. Let them know that you a different fighter. Like, hey, I would have stopped this girl. I would have did this. So that way, when y'all do fight, you make sure you ready to stand on that shit. Because one thing I do know about Clarissa going into the fight, You can talk about that power all you want to. Them reflexes, that counter punching ability, that defense, that head movement, that shit real.
Yep.
I bet you won't just walk like talk about she ain't got no power. Ain't nobody just walked through her shit yet. It's kind of how they used to talk about Floyd, like, oh man, he ain't got no power. He can't do this. He can't do that. All right,
Right.
cool. Well, who walked through him though?
Right.
50 people, and he fought like 20 some world champions. Could nobody walk through his shit? They all respected his power enough to where they couldn't walk through it. So that's all Clarissa got to do. Like, would you rather have power, or would you rather have a 2-time Olympic gold medalist with all that amateur pedigree,
Right.
all that counter punching, all that timing and shit she got, that defense she got? Like, man, listen, give me that all day, every day. So
man, same fight, different round. He agree with you too, TKQ. It's boxing.
Yeah, man. What you talking about? Some respect, man. Listen, I don't want no respect between them two. I don't want no respect between Crawford and Spence. I don't want no respect between Devin Haney and Cambosos. None of them, bro. None of them. Man. Talk your shit, man. Just when you talk it, don't be mad when somebody like me or KQ or any of these other brothers is making this real content out here. Don't be mad when we hold you to that shit. Cause I'm the type to go back and get petty with your ass. Hey man, remember you had said this shit over here? Like I'm on Ryan Garcia helmet right now. I know we ain't talking about Ryan. I don't even want to talk about him, but he was talking all that shit about Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis, and now you fighting some dude named To Go Box or Tagatoe, Toe Tag, whatever the hell his name is. Now you fighting this dude. Like, bro, just shut up. Yeah, just shut up, bro. Like, if you go talk your shit, but make sure you have something of substance to give to the people. But overall, Clarissa did her thing as expected. Savannah, she got a fight coming up. So hopefully after her fight, they can get it popping. There's no reason why they can't for Undisputed up there at 160 pounds, man. Right. But that's all I got on that fight, man. She did what she was supposed to do. Emma Cozen, she was there to be an opponent. You know what I'm saying? She was too slow. No feet, no hands, none of that shit. So Clarissa did what she was supposed to do with her, bro.
Do you think she had she had a chin? Cozen did? You think that
she had a pretty good chin? She had a pretty good chin, but Clarissa, I mean, she had 11 fights going into that fight, and she had 2 knockouts. Like, if you just go off of what she's done so far in her career, like, when she's up there with bigger girls, like, you don't expect her to stop them. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't stopping people at the lower weight class when she was going for Undisputed. So Emma Cozen, she showed a good chin, but but Clarissa also, on top of everything she had going into the fight, she used to headhunt a lot and always hit the head. She got some body work for your ass now too. So that's a huge takeaway. You know what I'm saying? So she trying to improve and shit. She only 26 years old. So who knows? But will she ever have power like Serrano or Savannah Marshall? I don't think so. But power ain't everything in boxing, man. That ain't the only attribute you can have. You know what I'm saying? So she doing her thing. She did her thing, and more power to her, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just trying to figure out, because like I said, Coulson was 23, and I know she was just an opponent in there for Clarissa Shield, but she was a hard opponent. And you know, the more you go up and better competition you fight. And I'm not saying that Coulson is this big, great boxer, but she's a big young lady. She's only 23, and she took a lot of shots. She took a lot of beatings, but
and she undefeated, OG. She undefeated. Like, it was, it's hard that type of heart. Like, when you ain't never lost, man, it's hard. And it's hard to get you up out of there, bro. Like, you got to really start somebody, because somebody that's undefeated, they undefeated for a reason. She got 22 professional fights. You could say what you want about her, level of competition and shit like that. But if I ain't never lost at something before, man, I ain't accepting defeat until the last bell ring. So, it's hard to beat people that are undefeated. That's why it's rare that you see somebody undefeated get stopped. Like, a lot of times those fights go to distance, man, because they got hard like that. They undefeated for a reason, regardless of who they fought. Like, you play basketball, OG. Like, you can say that the competition is trash, but if somebody dropped 50 in the game, bro, they dropped 50 in the game. It don't matter about the competition. They was balling that day. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So, it is what it is, man.
Yes, sir. All right. Okay. Who's next up?
Man, the main event, Chris Eubanks Jr. versus Liam Williams, a very good scrap. Very good scrap. Okay. What you got on that fight?
Man, Eubanks, he hasn't gotten better. I will say that he has gotten better. In other words, what I'm saying is patience. I see that he has a lot of patience now. Now, before he was running in and pretty much just throwing anything, using his strength, and he's always in shape. But I think Roy Jones Jr. showed him how to be patient. Now, only thing about I didn't like about Chris Eubanks, now he pretty much need to take it a little more seriously when he's ahead. Sure, he got two knockdowns. Then he got a third knockdown. Now, of
Mm-hmm.
course, when you have a lead like that, that fight should have been over with in 5 rounds. That fight should have been over with in 5 rounds. And it went on and on and on. Why? Because you're showboating. Because you're not taking it seriously. That's how you get knocked out. That's how you lose. And he got to take a little more seriously than that. I know his father used to do the same thing. Go back to his corner, stop, stare, look around, and want to be a showman. Well, it's a place for everything. And right now, you need to finish the fight. You need to finish your fight and you need to make a statement. You need to finish the fight in high fashion. You need to finish the fight and say, hey, look, I am a player at this weight class and I can box and I can brawl and I can hit. So he need to make a statement besides showboating because he almost lost that fight if he would have came along. Because when you let opponent back into the fight, that give them a encouragement. And sometimes that encouragement can come to, okay, I took his best shot, or I can do this, I can do that. And next thing you know, he believing in himself. And next thing you know, it started to come to fruition. So that's the only thing I didn't like. But the rest of it, as far as him being in shape, him working his jab. Now, that's another thing. I'm sorry, I forgot. Roy Jones Jr. knows boxing, no doubt about it. But I still believe that a jab works better up high than by the waist. Some people think it's faster to snap it from the waist, but I think it should be from the head and from your guard up. So, but that I had a problem with. Now he's trying to keep his hands down and throw the jab from the waist. Well, that's not going to work because someone with fast hands at that weight class will counter him real fast and will hit him real fast before he get a chance to bring that jab up. So he still need a lot of work, but right now I will say he did step up. He's better than what he used to be. He's better than when he fought Billy Joe Saunders. And so hey, I have to give him credit. He did do a great job. He did look better than he used to look, and that comes with maturity. That comes
Mm-hmm.
with maturity in the game. All right. Now you're starting to learn different things. You're getting rid of all your Achilles heels, all that. You're bringing in your best accolades, and you're bringing in and you're mixing it up. And so he's learning. He's learning by experience. But that's all I have on that fight.
Yeah, Chris Eubanks Jr., man,
Uh-huh.
he he got talent, right? And he showed that in the first half of the fight.
Uh-huh.
And he knocked him down 3 of the first 4 rounds. He had a huge lead, but then I hate to say it, like, does he really have dog in him like that? Is he really trying to be the best like that? Because
Mhm.
he had an opportunity to make a statement. Obviously, he was clearly faster. He was clearly stronger. He was bigger, and he could get to Liam Williams before Liam could get to him. He didn't try to turn up on him, and that's a red flag to me. What's another red flag is why you calling out Triple G, bro? Why it seemed like you trying to you want to fight a champion that you feel
Right.
like is easy for you. You
Mhm.
don't really. Why ain't you trying to get that Charlo smoke or some
Yeah.
of that Andrade smoke? Shit like I don't like that shit, bro. I don't like that shit because to me that seemed like you just trying to cherry pick your way to a title, and then what you gonna do? Retire or some shit or get a bunch of sorry ass defenses? Like
Right.
what's your game plan? What's your move? And then another thing, I know some of y'all might not like this. I know some of y'all might not like this, and I don't. It's no hate or nothing like that. But
Mhm.
Roy Jones Jr. number one, trying to emulate him and imitate him, he's far more athletic than Chris Eubanks Jr. because he was a freak of
Yes.
nature. But number two, Roy Jones Jr. lost 9 times, bro. He lost 9 times. So when you trying to you like, yes, he was at the top of his game. I understand all that, but we can't act like Antonio Tarver and Calzaghe and all that shit didn't happen, bro. So you trying to emulate that style and you not as good as him at it,
Right.
you gonna run into the wrong one, dog.
Mm.
You're gonna run into the wrong one because even the one who really fought like that, who really used them reflexes like that, even he lost. So if you run into the wrong one, if you Chris Eubanks Jr., you might lose too. Like, let's keep in mind that Liam Williams, he's been a contender before, he's challenged for titles before, but every top fighter he ever went against, he lost. He lost to Liam Smith, and he lost to who was the other loss? Oh, and he lost to Andrade.
Mm-hmm.
So it is what it. Oh, I'm very prime to him, Roderick. I'm very prime to him, Roderick. I just believe your whole career counts. We can't make excuses like, oh man, in his prime he was this. All right, well, Floyd, he had his prime. He fought after his prime. He found a way to keep that shit going, bro. So that style is detrimental as you get older. And Chris Eubanks is on the wrong side of 30. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of, it is what it is. You know, good win. Liam Williams, you know, this is his best opponent that he fought with. Roy Jones is his trainer. So congratulations to them. What he's doing has been working. But fundamentals, man. Fundamentals and having a killer mentality, that shit'll take you a long way. And he don't seem to have either, because Chris Eubanks is relying on his speed, which he has great speed. He's relying on his reflexes, which his reflexes were way better than Liam Williams. But it's gonna come a time when he fight one of these fighters, if he truly want to be champion. All that shit, they're gonna be right on par with you, right on level with you, except for what happens if they got a better textbook style. What happens if they got better fundamentals? That's what I worry about for him. But good performance, man. I ain't gonna go too hard on him. I thought he did enough to win the fight. He did his thing, so salute to him.
You know what? I was thinking, and me and Stone B, we was talking also about this, that you know, some fighters that's great, that been great in their career, that doesn't mean they make good trainers. Okay, now what you can do, let's say Roy Jones Jr., for example, you know what he can do, that doesn't mean that you can teach somebody else that. Because see, you might be athletic and that next person is not athletic. All right. So that's how I look at it, you know. So what Roy Jones Jr. can do, that don't mean Chris Eubanks can do it, because you all are two different fighters. One is more athletic than the other one, you know. So Floyd Mayweather, he's great, but he can't teach people to fight like him and do everything that he does, because you know, reflexes, your style, your athleticism. I mean, it just you can't teach that. You can teach the fundamentals. You can teach the basic common sense that everything come behind the jab and all that, but you just can't teach someone just to fight like you. It's just not going to happen. So. But that's
because
they're
not as gifted. They're not as gifted as you. It's like Michael Jordan made a horrible coach. He made a horrible coach, and he hasn't been doing too good as an owner of a team. Because he like, shit, why can't you just jump up in the air and shoot the fadeaway up over him, man? Like, just it's an easy shot. People like, bro, we not you. We can't do what you doing, man. What the hell going on?
Man, here in Chicago, man, when Westbrook hit them 2 3-pointers in a row against Charlotte, man, Michael Jordan was up in the booth, man. He threw paper and shit everywhere.
Yeah, because you know, he like Westbrook don't never make them damn shots. Now you want to wait till you play against my team and you want to make that
like,
shit.
God damn, what is going on? So
I'm trying to tell you, man.
Yes,
I'm trying to tell you.
Yep. So, all right, okay, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it rolling.
Yes, sir, man. Let's talk about Abel Ramos. Abel Ramos versus Lucas Santa Maria. This was on the Fox card. We working our way through the Fox card now. This was a damn good fight. I'll go first on this one. Abel Ramos, he started off the fight in control. He was doing a very good job, very aggressive. He actually hurt Lucas Santa Maria when he was applying that pressure to him with a left hook in the first round. It looked like he was about to stop Lucas Santa Maria, but as the fight went on, Lucas Santa Maria, his movement began to give Abel Ramos problem. He would dart in, dart out, use his lateral movement, jump in, throw a nice combination, and then jump back out. and Abel Ramos had a hard time finding him. And then towards the tail end of the fight, like round 8, round 9, and round 10, Lucas Santa Maria actually had moments where he was pushing Abel Ramos back a little bit. But overall, it was a very, very close fight. I think Abel Ramos, he looked very good at 147 for his last 8 fights. His only loss was to Urdinas Ugas, but he just couldn't cut off the ring good enough against Lucas Santa Maria to sustain that success he had been having, because the first 4 rounds it was all him. But the last five or 6 rounds, man, that Lucas Santa Maria, he's showing he can fight. And you start looking at his resume, it say he got 13 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw, but he done beat Michael Fox, he beat Devin Alexander, and now he just beat Abel Ramos. So Lucas Santa Maria, he built a nice little resume for himself, only like 16 fights into his career. So very interested to see what's next. And I'm happy that the judges got it right, because this was a fight that was close. But in my opinion, Lucas Santa Maria deserved a victory, and the judges could have very well gave it to the bigger name, but they did the right thing. They scored it correctly, in my opinion, and they gave it to Lucas Santa Maria. So salute to him. Abel Ramos is back to the drawing board, and we'll see what's next from him.
Okay, all right. And shout out to Mr. Gumbo with the $2 and super chat. He said, "You can't teach how to sing the super chat song." Okay, smart ass.
Oh, fact though. No, that's a fact though. That's a fact though.
That's
Can't teach that shit. Some shit you can't teach, man.
Yes, sir. That's my little nephew there. Yes, sir. All right. Now, but now my take on the Ramos and Santa Maria card was pretty much about the same, because Ramos did control the first half of the fight. And actually, I thought he was about to stop Santa Maria. I'm like, wow, man, he putting the pressure on, and he hit him with some good shots. But Santa Maria bit down on that mouthpiece, and he took the shots, and then he used some lateral movement. He kept sliding up and down the ropes and changing different directions. And then he started getting a little bit more encouragement. Then here come the second half of the fight. Then he started throwing left and rights and left and right. He stayed busy. And that's what I'm saying. You cannot win a fight if you don't throw punches. And that's how I looked at it. And then Santa Maria started throwing punches and started being accurate with the punches. And that what made Ramos back off some. Now, he does have a bigger name, but Santa Maria came up with the victory. But still in all, I still think that Santa Maria, he's a tough hombre. He came in there and he took a lot of good shots, and I think he took Abel Ramos' best shot, and he still was standing, and he still wanted some more action. And now I think that he got a new foundation on his career. I think now he thinks and believes that he can pretty much do what he need to do to win the fight. And that means let your hands go. And that's what he did. He had let his hands go. And next thing you know, it overwhelmed Abel Ramos. It overwhelmed him big time. So, I mean, congratulations. You're right. The referees, they did get it right. I was looking more towards a draw. I thought it might have been, but I said, well, no, I don't think it'll be a draw, because he did get out punched. Now, Ramos was a little bit surprised, but if you dominate the first half, you still got to go into the second half.
Facts.
You can't win a fight just by winning the first half. So you got to.
I think maybe he got surprised that Santa Maria didn't fold.
Yeah.
He probably expected him to fold out of those first 4 or 5 rounds, and when he kept coming, he was like, "Shit," and he kind of took his foot off the gas a little bit, man.
Yeah, sure, he did. Because now think about it. Ramos was walking him down. Then next thing you know, he turned the tables. Santa Maria started walking Ramos down. The smaller guy was walking down the bigger guy. And that have a lot to do with it. Now, I don't know about the judges. Sometimes they like the aggressor, because the aggressor is the one that's making the fight. But then again, if you fight on the back foot and you fight and you throwing punches at the same time, they like that also. So I don't know what they're looking at, but I think they like the old comeback story, that old come back and get back story. And that's what it was last night. All
Yeah,
right.
because the commentators were very heavy on Santa Maria, man. They were very, very
Yeah.
happy for him. Mike Rhyme hit you with a $5 super chat, man.
Yes, sir. Mike Rhymes in a $5 super chat. He said, "What's up, fellas? Maybe you two can help me out. What the f did Porter have on?"
Man, that's a good segue to talk about something else for a little bit. We appreciate that, Mike. KQ, you were calling the fight? Listen, man, he looked like he had on it was like a half peel banana. Like you take the banana and you only peel half of it. One side is gonna be the banana, the other side is still the peel or some shit, man. I don't know what
Man,
Sean Porter
I,
was
I,
doing, man.
I don't know. Was that a highlighter? I don't know. Somebody got a yellow highlighter and highlighted the right
Yeah,
too, or I don't know.
damn,
I asked this question last night. I mean, do Las Vegas got any clothing stores there? I
some
mean, or he
shit,
getting that
man.
shipped in somewhere? I don't know, because Sean Porter don't have no type of dress style. I mean,
Man,
it seems like you on TV, you gonna try to look your best. And get rid of them goddamn braids, and cut your hair nice and neat, and because you're on TV. So I mean, and this is what he wanted to do, right? He wanted to be a broadcaster, so goddamn dress like one. But
Caddy talking about pimping. He a pimp with no ladies. Shit, he ain't got nobody working for him looking like that. Nah,
I,
man.
I appreciate that,
Nah,
Mike.
dog.
Yes, I appreciate that. Yes, I'm not singing
Yeah,
the super
Mike.
chats today because I don't want to hold up the show, so that's why I'm not singing the super chats today. All right.
Let me let,
Okay.
let, let me ask you this, man, because this is I want to talk about this story a little bit because it's flying under the radar. Caleb Plant
Okay.
done got Hollywood on us, bro. He done got Hollywood on us, and now he talking about. It seemed like he might be talking about ducking. He say he ain't interested in fighting David Benavidez no more, man. He
Ooh.
said he don't want to fight David no more, man. What you think of that? he don't
Well,
want he don't want that smoke no more. He done
you know
got that
what?
Canelo money.
That's what I'm saying. I think he got a big payday from Canelo, and I think he's all over the place. Okay, he wanted David Benavidez. Then he said, hey, I'll fight Charlo, and this and that. And I don't know where he's at right now. And maybe Canelo knocked something loose. I don't know. But right now, he needed a well deserved vacation, and he needed to think about and sit down and think what he gonna do, because right now, uh, you don't want to fight this guy. You don't want to fight this guy. I mean, now are you getting gun shy? You don't want to get hurt. I mean,
Mm.
what is it? Did Canelo hurt you that bad? I don't know, but one thing I do know is that in order to be the best, you got to fight the best. And right now, you didn't look so good against Canelo Alvarez, but you can redeem yourself by getting in there with the second or third best, and then look for a rematch with Canelo Alvarez, which you probably won't get, but still, you can still redeem your reputation and yourself. So, I mean, hey, I don't know what's going on with him. I mean, he's like, bang zoom. I don't know, shit. So, but he was in the audience that last night also, and
He was, yeah.
yeah, of course. I do want to talk about when we get a chance. Daniel Dubois, sister. All
Oh
right.
yeah, we can
Yeah.
go there. Plant, man, I don't know. He seemed like he wanted all the smoke leading up to the Canelo fight. Now he don't want smoke no more. It seemed like he
Right.
might not have the confidence. I'm
That's what
cool
I'm
with a
thinking.
tune.
Yeah.
I'm cool with
Right.
a tune up, but
Yeah.
don't just dismiss the fight. Don't just dismiss the fight, man. It's
Exactly.
that's a big fight. And then if you really want to get back at Canelo, if you really try and be great like that, the best way to do it is eliminate an opponent and put yourself back in position. So I don't know why he don't went cold on the David Benavidez fight, but a fight like that at 168, they both under PBC. I would think that's a big fight. That's a fight that's easy for him to try to get. So we'll
And,
see what happens. I did want to
and,
bring that up though.
and you know what? And another thing, if you think about it, the styles, the styles favor Kellen Plant. Because why? David Benavidez is strong, no doubt about it. David Benavidez like to go down to the body, no doubt about it. But one thing about it, he's robotic. All right, you're not gonna see him bounce on his toes. You're not gonna see him using angles. You're not gonna see that. You're gonna see him just walk straight forward and throw punches. Well, Calvin Plant, he's a pretty much slick fighter. He's pretty much
Mm-hmm.
would get in and get out, change angles, pop you right there. He gonna pop shot his way to victory if he really wanted to. So that's a tailor-made fight for him. Now, why he changed his mind, I don't know. But one thing about it, if he stick and move, do the old 1-2 and this and that, he can get away from them big punches that David Benavidez throw. He can make them miss and definitely make them pay in a fight like that. So that's how I look at it. So, all right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight. But let's talk about Caroline Dubois. She was the fight right before right before Clarissa and them came out there, man. What did you think of her performance?
Man, I think she got speed. I think she got talent. I think she needs to work on her approach, because she was kind of, and I understand that was her pro debut, so you're kind of a little anxious, because you're fighting in the biggest crowd you probably fought in before, and I think she needed to slow down a little bit. She does have fast hands. She's a southpaw, and she was landing her jab, and she was landing her lead left hand, but on the same token, she was rushing it. She didn't let it, she didn't let the fight come to her. She was rushing it. She was pressing the action, which is good, but she was going in there reckless. Reckless. Now, someone with a great punch output and a great punch placement would have hit her with something, and maybe she would have got knocked down. So that's the only problem I have for her to kind of like slow down and let the fight come to you. Slow down. And I mean, sure, you don't have to slow down, and figure out what's going on with the defense, but she got to be a little more cautious. Now, she had a lot of aggression yesterday. She was rushing in, trying to swing and miss, but she got to pretty much place her punches correctly. But she still was landing. She had a great jab. One thing about it is she's fast enough to throw punches where it looked like she's reaching, but it's not reach. She's not really reaching, but she's landing. She was landing that right jab, and she's coming back with the left hand. So overall, I think it was a good performance for her for her first fight, but she needed a lot of work to be done. She has great potential to be a champion, and she's not a real big young lady. She's a smaller young lady, but she's a fast young lady. And one thing about fast hands, like the great Buddy McGurk said, the best thing you can do with speed is do what? Go right at it. And that's what a lot of her opponents going to try to do. So that's all I have. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Same thing. Like I co-signed everything you said. When I was watching the fight, I was like, damn, I see the talent, but you need to calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
you coming out here, like you coming out here
Yeah.
throwing 100 punches, but with no game plan. So I think that's that amateur style, though. You know how they score and shit based on their volume and shit, not clean punching and shit. Like this, the pros. It's about landing that shit clean. So instead of throwing 5, trying to show your hand speed and that you this and you that, why don't you really try to pick your shots? Maybe throw 2 or 3 and place them and really land on it, because she got the potential. First of all, a southpaw with that type of speed, that's gonna be hard to beat. You know what I'm saying? She can fight. So, and she has a nice jab. So that was a good performance for your first time out. I'm gonna chalk it up to it being her pro debut. She come from a fighting family. Her brother's been a successful heavyweight so far. So she got some good people in her corner, good people around her that's gonna show her the game and keep her head on straight, obviously. But she can be a factor. She can be a factor. I want to see when she steps up in competition. Is the hand speed difference still gonna be there? Is she still gonna have good amateur pedigree? And all that good stuff. So we'll see. But for a lot of these young fighters, it takes them a little bit of time to adjust to the pro style. And I think that's what we saw in her pro debut. She's on a big card. A lot of these young ladies, I ain't gonna say idolize because that's a strong word, but a lot of them look up to Clarissa Shields. So on the big card, you sharing the card with Clarissa Shields. Chris Eubanks is there. So I'm sure a lot of nerves went into her performance as well. But she did what she had to do. She got the W. And she's moving on to the next. But I thought it was a great fight, man.
Yes, sir. I did too. And only thing I didn't understand, maybe you can help me out on this.
Mm-hmm.
When you make your pro debut, I thought you go 4 rounds, then you go to the 6th round, then 8 rounds. She went straight to 6 rounds.
It depend on
So
the fighter. It depend on like that's all up to the fighter and
okay,
how much amateur experience they got. Like look at Lomachenko. He ain't fought a 4 rounder in his career at all.
okay,
He came in the game fighting like 10 rounders and shit. If
wow,
not a 12 rounder, because it wasn't his not his first fight. His second fight was a championship fight.
okay.
So his second fight, he was 12 rounds in. His first fight was like a 10 rounder. I don't know off the top of my head. Let me see. I don't want to make sure I'm telling the people
Wow.
nothing wrong. Give me one
And that
second.
and that mind boggles me. How can a guy from the amateur? I know he had damn near over 400 some amateur fights, but you come right in and you pretty much your second or third fight, you fighting for a belt. Now, now,
Who you know, baby, is who you know. And yes, he
mm,
fought a 10 rounder in his very first fight. In his very first fight. And Shakur Stevenson, he fought a 6 rounder in his very first fight.
okay.
So it
Now,
just depends on how much faith your promoter have in you. And then
yeah,
the sanctioning bodies, the commission and shit. A lot of these young fighters, they won't sanction them to fight more than 4 rounds in their first fight. But if
yeah,
you come in there like with anything, you come in there with your resume, like, look, man, we trying to fight this 10 round fight. Boom, I'm an Olympic silver medalist. I got all these amateur fights. I can
mm,
fight. I can do 6 rounds. I've been training. Go ahead and sanction this shit. A lot of times they'll sanction that shit because of your pedigree and shit. Now, if you some dude off the street, they'll be like, nah, you gotta fight 4 rounds. We ain't finna sanction this shit for no 6, 8 rounds because we ain't
right.
never seen you fight. We don't know who you are. So it just depends. But you can fight shit. Lomachenko, like you just saw, he proved the shit like shit. You can fight a 12 round fight if you want to.
Mm,
If they'll allow the shit, it just depends on who you are, I guess.
wow. Okay. Now I got it.
Mhm.
Okay. I was trying to figure out, why she went straight to 6 rounds. So all right.
All
Okay.
right, man. We up to the pay-per-view card and we up to the DAZN card. So on the
Okay.
pay-per-view card, the Fox card, man, I want to talk about Abel Ramos' nephew. I want to talk about Jesus Ramos and Vladimir Hernandez. That was a firefight, man.
Oh
That
man.
was a damn
Yes,
firefight. I know
yes,
you
it
had
was.
fun calling it, man. What did you think of that fight, man?
Man, man. I mean, it was a great fight. Ramos, he pretty much, southpaw on southpaw, and Ramos, he had a different style of fighting. He's a southpaw too, but he gave him a shoulder to work with. He didn't give him that front. He didn't give him that front and where he can work the jab, or he gave him nothing but shoulder. And then he's a taller fighter, so he tried to fight small by spreading his legs wide open, and that pretty much bring him down a little bit smaller, and then he worked the body. Now he was working the body well. I mean, really good. And his opponent, I forgot his name already. But
Vladimir Hernandez.
yeah, Hernandez. Yeah, Hernandez. He was game. There's one thing about he was game already. I mean, he was a little bit, with the weight. He's a little bit kind of, I ain't gonna say chubby, but he had a lot of weight on him, and it wasn't muscle, but he still was in there working the body. Now, that's one thing about it. They gave us a lot of leather last night. And one thing about Hernandez went straight in there and started working the body. He started working the chest. He started working the stern. And he went from left to right kidney. I mean, he did a great job. But Ramos, the taller and bigger fighter, he came straight in and he was throwing the left hand. But he was throwing sharp, small, precise punches in the inside. That's one thing about it. They was throwing punches, and his was more successful up close than far back. And Ramos was starting to hurt him then. Then Ramos started pushing him back. The bigger fighter started pushing him back with the body shots. And he hit him with a nice body shot that backed him up against the ropes. Then here come Ramos. Ramos went in, and he does know how to finish, and he finished in high fashion. He went up, down, up, down, up, down, and kept him off balance. And then he tried to get him out of there. And then next thing you know, here come the headshots. And the headshot, once you land that headshot, is pretty much you're gonna hit that equilibrium, and
Yeah.
that's what he did. So, but overall, that was a damn good fight. I wasn't mad at that fight. Matter of fact, I was excited about that fight
Yeah, that
because,
shit was fun to watch.
man, yes, it was. That's why I like a lot of action. I like a lot of back and forth. And
You don't
these
like to
guys,
call one. You don't like to call one punch every 30 seconds, OG. You don't like that
no,
shit.
no, sir. And that's the problem I had with Gary Russell Jr. No, I don't want to bring that back up everything, but that's why I say, yeah, he lost because see,
Yeah,
you cannot win a fight by throwing one punch at a time. You can't do that. But when you start throwing in combination, like these guys were doing last night, then that makes the fight even more exciting. And you're gonna see that, hey, okay, man, this is gonna be a tough fight to score. Because some punches I did miss. Some punches I did miss. I tried to catch every last one of them, but I caught the majority of them. But some I did miss because they was throwing. They were throwing on the inside. They were throwing on the clinch. They were throwing on the break. And sometimes the referee was trying to get in there, but he changed his mind because they was throwing leather so fast. So he didn't want to get hit. So, but I think overall, Ramos did a great job and he got him out of there. Now, would he be trouble? Would he be trouble for the other guys at that weight class? Yeah. With a little more, couple more fights under his belt, with his height, with his strength, and with his southpaw stance, I think he will be. I think he will be a major player in that division. So that's all I
listen.
had on that one. Yeah.
I just saw Vladimir Hernandez getting his ass whooped by Julian J. Rock Williams and then storm back and almost stop J. Rock and end up winning that fight.
Uh-huh.
This is the guy that beat Julian J. Rock Williams. And Jesus Ramos is only 20 years old.
Yeah.
He stood in there in the pocket in the fire with him.
Mhm.
Vladimir Hernandez was throwing a lot of shots, but Ramos showed that he ain't just because I had him as a and he still is this. He's a seek and destroy southpaw looking to walk you down. And I was excited for this fight because I knew Vladimir Hernandez wasn't gonna bag us. So I like, all right, what can Jesus Ramos do in the trenches in the
Right.
cut? What can he do down there in the paint?
Right.
Man, he was rolling with shots. And Vladimir Hernandez, if you don't know what you were looking at, you be like, oh man, he's so active, he's getting chased. Man, Ramos was rolling with his shit, catching him with sharp shit all night, and it's scary when you as long as him, but you know how to get leverage on your shots on the inside. That's a dangerous thing because you already know he real good from mid-range to a distance. And I gotta say this to the PBC. I don't understand why they over here big upping and promoting the shit out of Sebastian Fundora. Maybe because he like 6'7", 6'9" tall,
Right.
and why he getting shots at Erickson Lubin. Maybe because they think Erickson Lubin can beat him. But Ramos at 154 is a much better prospect, in my opinion, than Sebastian Fundora. Like Fundora, like give him the shot that you giving Fundora. Can you imagine Jesus Ramos versus Erickson Lubin? Shit, sign me up.
Right.
Man, he a problem, bro.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
a problem for real. He too like it's scary when you 20 years old and you that patient. And what he showed against Vladimir Hernandez, I know it's hit and not get hit, OG, but I like fighters like Jesus Ramos and Tank Davis, guys that like they don't care about getting hit. Like if you like, bro, this boxing hit me, I'm cool. They just keep coming. They just like shit. This what we do. Like I'm a dog, I'm a savage. I don't like that shit. Like when you get hit, you start running and shit. When Jesus Ramos get hit, he smile at your ass and shake his head and keep calling like, all right, bro, you a little off. And you gotta be like that. You gotta be like that sometimes because everybody get hit. So Ramos is just he nice. I don't know if he gonna be able to stay at 154 because you know he started at 147 and he's only 20 years old. They had to move him up to 154. I'm sure by the time he's 21, 22, he gonna be even bigger. So shit, they might have to move him up to 160. But Naze, don't say that. Don't say that, Naze, because we ain't even there yet, bro. And oh my God, don't say that, Naze. Please don't be talking about that. He talking about some Thurman in his back. He making my head itch, bro. He making my head itch. But overall, though, man, great performance by Jesus Ramos. Very proud of that young man. And I'm telling you, the Ramos family, they got one with this one, dog. They got one with this one. He can fight. He can fight for real. And he ain't fat. The hand speed, he ain't gonna wow you with hand speed. But that timing is nice. that the dog is nice and he can fight inside and outside. Yeah,
and he
yeah.
will give you that
I like
shoulder.
Jesus Ramos. I ain't gonna lie
Yeah,
to y'all, man.
yeah, he will give you that shoulder too, and he's not easy to hit, and then he's a great counter puncher. And but Hernandez, I still would give it to him. You know, he still came to fight, and he came to fight to the end. But he got hit with too much big shots from Ramos. Because Ramos is a big guy. He's a big guy. And like you said, he's young and he's still growing. Now, the question is, does he have that man strength yet, or he's still looking for that man strength? I think he got it. Now, some people say, hey, he ain't found his man strength yet. Okay, well, if he do find it, well,
That's a
goddamn,
problem.
that's a
If he
big,
find that
big
shit,
that's a big,
problem.
big problem, man.
Yeah,
'Cause,
dog. Cause
man,
he already strong as shit.
exactly.
You can tell, like, Vladimir Hernandez is a soldier. He got hit with a lot of shots against Angulo, and Julian J. Rock Williams, he lost the fight. And you know, but go look at them first 4 rounds. Julian Williams, who was able to have enough power to keep Jerry Hurd up off of him. Julian J. Rock Williams couldn't keep Hernandez up off of him, dog.
Yeah.
This kid went in there and stopped his ass, bro.
Yeah.
He stopped him, like, in his tracks. Like,
Yeah.
bro. That
Man.
dude, that young man is strong. OG, did you get a chance to go back and look at any of the DAZN card?
No, I didn't get a chance.
Okay.
I was gonna do it this morning, but kind of overslept.
Okay, no, all good. Let me touch on this for the people because they was asking about it in the comment section.
Okay.
Raymond Ford versus Edward Vasquez.
Oh yeah,
I picked Raymond Ford to win. You know what I'm saying? I ended up getting it right, but your boy should have an extra L on his record, OG. They cheated this young man, Edward Vasquez, out of his decision, man. I should have another L. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Raymond Ford, he got a lot of talent, but what's missing with him, OG, is that he can't fight on the inside, man. Guys can press him. He go back to the ropes too easy, and they negate his speed. This guy, Edward Vasquez, he only had 3 KOs in 11 fights, but he was physically stronger. He landed the much cleaner shots. He outlanded, man, OG. He outlanded this dude like something crazy in power shots, like 99 to 55 or some shit. And he lost. And they gave him the L. When you go back and watch that fight, because I know you're gonna watch it because you love boxing, you're gonna be mad. You're gonna be mad. You're gonna be like, bro,
now
like,
I gotta really watch it now.
Yeah, man, Raymond Ford. Like, and then it ain't that they just gave Raymond Ford the decision. I want you to remember this while you're watching the fight. Some judge, one of them judges, they scored it for Raymond Ford 98 to 92, meaning they only gave Edward Vasquez 2 rounds. Right. It's gonna make you throw up, man. It's gonna make you throw up. But overall, Raymond Ford, man, he gotta go back to the drawing board. I know they was high on him because he sparred with Shakur Stevenson. He did this, did that, but bro, and he only 22 years old, and it's a lot for him to learn. But when he got a draw on his record because the guy was able to press him, he should have an L right here because the guy was pressing him very, very good, and his combinations became repetitive. So you know it is what it is. But Edward Vasquez should have got that victory, man, and that's really what I wanted to touch on.
Okay, now, but I see Kathy Workingham said, "Can Ford be fixed?" Now, can he fix it? Is he young enough?
Does he? I don't know who his. He got the talent. It can be fixed, and he's young enough. Like he got the talent, and it can be fixed if he get the right trainer to do it. Number one, he got to learn how because he's physically strong. You can't just push people off you on the inside or let people get you to the ropes. You got to learn how to like stand in there and fight a little bit. Kind of how we just did a fight where Jesus Ramos, somebody came up on him and tried to press him, and he realized, look, bro, I ain't gonna get the distance that I want today. So this is what you want to do. This is what we gonna do, and I'm gonna show you I can do this shit too. Kind of like Shakur Stevenson. When you press up on Shakur Stevenson and make him fight, he'll show you, look, these hooks to the body is nice. You know what I'm saying? My head placement on the inside is real nice too. I got nice, sharp left hands that I can get your ass, and I'll uppercut you in here too. Raymond Ford got to get that aspect to his game because when you fight, you can't just be comfortable fighting at one distance. You got to be able, because it's going to come a point in your career where somebody going to be able to get inside on you, bro. And so you got to be able to fight inside. If you can't fight inside, it's going to be a problem for you. And right now, he got issues on the inside. And he's not gifted how, like, I believe Terrence Crawford may have issues too, but Crawford, at least he's so gifted on the outside and mid-range to where when he push you back out there, he going to take advantage of that shit. Raymond Ford ain't that good, bro. So when he get inside, when he do all that holding and shit, and then push him off of him, the fighter done already scored like 4 or 5 punches on his ass.
Wow.
Because all he do is shell up. When you get in on him, OG, he just shell up. That's all he do is shell up and just let you work. And then once you get close enough and smother your work a little bit, he try to grab you and then push you back out. And that's how he ended up getting. The dude landed double the power shots, bro.
Wow.
And he still took an L, and he shouldn't have. And then I know we got to get to the rest of the pay-per-view, but I got to talk about my boy. OG Jesse Bam Rodriguez. I told you.
Wow.
I told you what he was gonna do to Carlos Quadras. This was the main event on the zone, and it was listen. It was maybe I'm biased. It was one of, if not the best fight of the night, because this young man, he's now the youngest world champion in the world, man. He 22 years old and he a world champion, OG.
Wow.
And he dropped Carlos Quadras. And I want you to keep this in mind when you're watching this fight. Carlos Quadras been in there with Chocolatito. He was in there with Juan Francisco Estrada twice. And Jesse Bam Rodriguez whooped his ass better than both of them. He whipped his ass better than both of them. He got, man, listen, this kid, his angles,
man, I gotta see that
his accuracy. Oh, you're gonna have some fun today. You're gonna have some fun today, I promise you. But I want to touch on that for the people because I know they was asking about it and shit. But he beat Quadras up, and Quadras been in there with pound for pound fighters, and Jesse Bam Rodriguez beat his ass, man. Wow. Beat his ass. He dropped him. OG, he dropped him with an uppercut so bad in round 2.
Ooh.
He threw. Listen, Jesse Bam Rodriguez threw a jab, right? He threw a jab. He pivoted and took an angle all the way over to his right. Made Quadras lost him, and he threw a right uppercut that Quadras ducked right into, and he knocked Quadras across the ring, man, with off a smooth ass angle, some shit that you don't see people doing, man. He different. I'm telling you, he different. He different. Man. He a problem, but we can move on though, man, because I talk about that kid all day. Let's keep it going. We got 3 more fights, y'all. Okay. We got 3 more fights on the pay-per-view. OG, what do you have on the Luis Nery and Carlos Castro fight?
Oh wow, that was a great fight. That was a good all-action packed fight. Nery and Castro. Castro started off with the earmuffs on or high guard. Nery pretty much was kind of relaxed, southpaw stance, and of course he did a lot of lateral movement, but he also was scoring too. Now he was hesitating. Then once he explode, he'd come off with maybe a 3-4 piece combination, and he was using the right hand, left hand, right hand, and he was throwing like something like a Navarrete. He was throwing kind of wide, but he was scoring. He was scoring with the 1, 2, 3, 4. Then he finished up with the left hand, and it did look good. But Castro trying to come back. Castro took his time. He took too much time, I believe, to get started because he was coming back later on in the fight. But at that time, it was a little bit too late. And now he's a slow starter, I see, but he started too slow. He still was coming in, trying to work the jab and trying to work behind the jab. And it just Nery wasn't going for it. Nery was getting him a lot of different looks. Nery was pretty much showboating a little bit too, because he got down low with his hands down and looking. And Castro, he's like he had that Leo Santa Cruz tick also, and in the right hand, and but he still was coming forward. Now, one thing about Nery was that Nery was landing the left hand. Matter of fact, he got 2 left hand crazy. Everything was with the left hand. But then he started throwing combinations. Left, right, bam, 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 bam. And these were eye-catching shots. So, but I think that was a great fight. And Nery, he came out and he showed what he had. And he wasn't fighting no anybody. And because Castro is a tough guy. So Nery, hey, look, he did a great job. And he did a great job at making a statement last night. So, so I think that's a good fight.
Yeah, Nery came out. He caught him with a left hand early in the first round, put him on his ass. But I'm disappointed in Castro because you would think an undefeated fighter would press the action more and not be
Yeah.
so content. Just he was jab. He spent the whole first half of the fight jabbing at air and shit, jabbing
Mhm.
at air and all that. And you would think that after seeing Neri's last performance, he would come out and he would try to press the press the issue and see if he can get Neri into a fight and try to land to his body and see what type of success he could have. But he was content just letting Neri pop shot him, walk him into shit, and he just was jabbing the
Right.
air the whole time. You wouldn't even know that he had a 5-inch reach advantage. He didn't throw any jabs to the body hardly. Very disappointed from Castro, but for Neri, he can't control the other guy. He did what he had to do. But Neri looked like a boxer that has supreme elite boxing skills. Somebody that has very very good power at 122 pounds, and I don't believe him like that, man. I don't believe in him like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought that Neri, he showed a lot of holes in his game against Brandon Figueroa that could be taken out, that could be taken advantage of. Castro, for whatever reason, maybe skill, maybe heart, maybe and that's a great point by Windy City. Maybe the knockdown in the first round changed his whole mentality, but he didn't do any of the things that he was capable of doing to make that a close fight. And Neri took
That's
advantage
right.
of it. He's on to the next, and he got the W. So salute to him. But I still maintain I think he's too small for 122 pounds at the top level. He's a small guy. He has gas tank issues. They showed up in this fight a little bit because he coasted to the victory and he didn't have the same work rate at the end of the fight that he did at the beginning of the fight. But
Mhm.
he did what he had to do against an opponent that got gun shy after the first round. But salute to Neri, and he's on to the next. And Castro, he now got that O gone. He got a loss on his record. He got to go back to the drawing board. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that one go, man.
Yes, yes, sir. And plus, Castro, he's young enough to go back to the drawing board and kind of rethink the mistakes that he made. Look at the because, like I say, he started off too slow, and he has a reach, and he should have pressed the action a little faster. And I'm talking about not really the first round. He should have been close up because, like you say, he was punching in air. Now, I thought, and I called it like he was trying to use a rangefinder, trying to find out how far he had to go to the line of punch, but not all damn 2 rounds.
Yeah,
Oh
he
boy,
did that shit for
no,
rounds at a time, bro.
exactly, exactly. So I mean, but hey, but still, Neri was the better man on that night. So I mean, you can't take that away from him. He did box, and he boxed very well. So,
Yes, sir.
but,
Yes, sir. Leo Santa Cruz, your boy
oh
with no
man,
power, but he throw 200 punches around. What'd
man,
you
oh
think of
man.
his comeback fight, OG?
Man, I was so excited 'cause I like Leo Santa Cruz. I
Yeah.
like him even after the knockout from Javante Davis. Now, this is a exactly what I be thinking about half the time. Sometimes your game plan and styles make fights. And this is what I'm saying. He didn't fight like this with Javante Davis. Why? Maybe because of the height. I don't know, and we will never know. But all I know, he got knocked out. But like not last night. Because Leo Santa Cruz came in there ready. I mean, blonde hair and all. He came in there ready. He was throwing a left.
Looking like a Mexican boy band member and shit, man. Get that
Man,
shit out your head,
I
man.
know. I know. I'm like, is that Leo? Oh, God damn. And shout out to his father too, because that
Mhm.
cancer is in remission, and just like my father's, and he gained that weight and everything. So shout out to him. And Leo came out there working the body. I mean, the body shots was impeccable in that fight. I mean, we are talking about both guys, Cabral and Cruz, Santa Cruz. He was throwing body shots, and they were throwing headshots, but they went right back to the body, right back to the body, and they clenched to the body when they up close to the body, when they from a distance to the body. I mean, they was going from left, right, kidney, right to the center, to the stern. I mean, they was throwing tummy jabs, they were throwing uppercuts. I mean, they were throwing shovel jabs. I mean, they were throwing everything but the kitchen sink. And Leo Santa Cruz, he still had that speed. He still threw close to 300 punches in the whole fight. Now, which is slowing down. That shows that's age. That's all age. He's not throwing like 90 plus punches per round. But Gabriel was game. He was trying to throw body shots too, with the left hand. He was trying to go upstairs, then go downstairs with the body shots. But Leo Santa Cruz, this is what he does. This is what he does. This is what he been doing his whole career, working the body, keeping busy, come forward, and that's what he does. He always plant that right foot forward and that left foot back. And that means that he's keeping himself balanced and he's coming straight forward. He did not take a step back and he came straight forward and working the body. That's all he was doing, working that body. He'd keep that high guard up. And after that, he'll let one go right down to the body, bring it right back for the counter, then go with the right hand and go down to the right kidney. Bring that back before the counter comes. So he was doing a great job. Matter of fact, that was the best performance I've seen Leo Santa Cruz have in a long time since the Carl Frampton fight. So, I mean, hey, I wasn't mad at him. I mean, that was a damn good fight. So that's all I have on that one.
Yeah, man. Leo, people say he basic, right? And he just throw a lot of punches. But people, this fight, I like this fight because it proved that there's levels to this shit. And that all the shit that if it was so basic, somebody like Carvajal would have been able to take advantage of it. You know what I'm saying? But Leo Santa Cruz, it was a lot of subtleties to his game, a lot of double jabs in there, a lot of
keep going,
good,
right? I gotta do something real fast.
yeah, that's cool. A lot of good head placement and head movement to get Carvajal off of the mark and land good stiff body shots. But his problem is always still he ain't got no power, y'all. Leo Santa Cruz ain't got no power, so he didn't get rid of him, but he landed a shit ton of punches on the dude, man. Like he threw almost 800 punches in the fight, which is a very good work rate. So he was still throwing almost 80 punches per round, which is, vintage Leo Santa Cruz. And I agree with, I think all the champions, Gervonta One Time Davis, I think all the champions beat Mixayo based off of what he did against Gary Russell Jr. with one arm. But Leo Santa Cruz, that's his game, to outwork you, to outland you, and try to double up your punches per round so that it makes it clear that he's the person winning that round. So he did his thing, man. He did his thing. He's on to the next. Has he overcome the Gervonta Davis knockout? Carvajal ain't the opponent that you find that shit out in. You know what I'm saying? Because he couldn't land anything of consequence on Leo. We'll find that out if Leo fights the top of the division. I think 130 is too tough for him. He need to get back down to 126. They fought this fight at 130, I think, just because it was his get back fight. They didn't want him to have to cut, the extra weight. But 126, where he still holds a championship belt, that's where he got to move to. That's where he got to stay at. That's where he got to fight at. Because 130 of them guys is a little bit too strong for Leo, but he did what he's supposed to do with Carvajal. So I'm glad we saved about 20 minutes, because I know we got a lot to say on this fight, man. Keith Thurman, Mario Barrios, y'all. I know this is what y'all came here for. I know y'all want to talk about this shit. I know y'all want to talk about it. KQ, Keith Thurman, what's up, man? How was the performance? What did you see last night?
Well, I didn't see a whole lot. And I know you Keith Thurman fans is out there in the chat, but I did not see a whole lot from Keith Thurman. I didn't see that elite fighter that he claims to be. I don't see that top. He believes that he should be up in the top 3 or 4. I didn't see that. Of course, Sean Porter had him as like the number 4 welterweight. Of course, Sean Porter, I don't believe shit he say, because him and Terrence Crawford, now they besties for some reason. All right. So therefore, I don't see Keith Thurman being that high at the welterweight division. Right now, what Keith Thurman did was he came in, he dominated the first 2, maybe the 3 rounds. Matter of fact, he's dominated he won the whole fight, but he didn't look good winning. See, you can win a fight, but you can look bad winning a fight. You can lose a fight, and you can look good losing a fight. And what Keith Thurman was, he won the fight, but he didn't look good winning the fight. Now, that's not the old Keith Thurman. Maybe that's age or inactivity. I don't know. But one thing I do know is that Mario Barrio got hit with a couple shots, did not go down. And like I told everyone, I still consider Barrio as a junior welterweight. I don't consider him a welterweight until he complete a welterweight fight. That's how I look at it. Now he did complete that fight. He didn't get knocked down. It wasn't no knockdown. He did get hurt. He did get hurt. What Keith Thurman pretty much threw that overhand right. Now, one thing about Keith Thurman I don't like. Keith Thurman does a lot of lateral movement. He bounces from the left to the right, and I think it's unnecessary. I think it's very unnecessary. Now, the reason why he does that, as I looked at it last night, as I tried to call it too, he's pretty much jumping in with his left hand, jumping in with his right hand. Now, he can't stand there and fight toe to toe. That's not Keith Thurman's style. So, therefore, Mario Barrios got a little encouragement because he started landing them straight right hands. As you saw, as Keith Thurman eyes started to swell. Now, of course, Mario Barrio, he pretty much hurt Keith Thurman. He hurt Keith Thurman when he went under that elbow and hit him in the body. Now, Keith Thurman in the post press conference, he said, I don't know. I think I have a soft liver or something. No, you just can't take a body shot. And what makes it so funny about this is that his body shots, when he get hit, I don't know if it's a sweet spot or not, but when he get hit, it's like it lasts 2 or 3 rounds. It lasts 2 or 3 rounds. Some people could shake off a body shot in the first round, come back the second round, and he's all good. But man, this body shot lasted 2 or 3 rounds. And Keith folded up like a damn iron board when he hit him with that body shot. So I mean, this is Achilles heel for Keith Thurman. I don't care how long he fights, but this is going to be a problem. This is going to be a problem from now on. Now, all fighters are on alert right now in the welterweight division. Now, you want to fight Earl Spence? I guarantee you, Earl Spence will find that sweet spot because he's going to go to the body. He's a body man, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to go to the body. Now, Keith Thurman, a lot of lateral movement, that keep him away, but then again, that take that fatigue out of him. That take that fatigue out. So you can't run 12 rounds. You can't use your lateral move for 12 rounds. Now, as far as being an elite fighter, I didn't see it. I did not see the jab working. I saw a lot of misses. I saw a lot of hits. Now, he was throwing the right hand, then he was all balanced. When he threw the right hand, next thing you know, he falling almost turned around. So, and then one time he fell on a goddamn canvas by throwing a punch. That is not balance. That could be inactivity, but I'm not going to blame everything on inactivity. If I learned how to ride a damn bike when I was 6 and I try to ride it at 30, I still can ride that bike. Trust me. Because you never forget. You never forget. You just might be a little rusty, but you never forget. But still in all, I think Keith Thurman is still miles away from being up in the top welterweight division. I'm sorry. Maybe he need to fight another opponent, or maybe he need a couple more tune-ups. But he is not back at all. Not at all. He is not back at all. Maybe he's waiting at the bus stop, but he ain't got on the bus yet. He haven't arrived yet. So I'm sorry. Hey, I'm just keeping it straight. Yes, he won the fight, but goddamn it, he lost the war. So that's one thing about what I saw last night. So that's all I have on that.
Man,
for right
listen.
now.
So I'm gonna be nice to start with, right? I'm gonna say I like that he still got his legs. He looked like he still move. You know what I'm saying? He can move in the ring. That was one of his best attributes, is his lateral movement to dart in, dart out with that left hook, right hand combination that he's good with. He had that shit working. He was clearly better than Barrios from the opening round. Damn near doubled him up and landed punches. So salute to Key for that. He didn't win no split decision, close ass victory. He clearly washed Mario Barrios. So great job on that. You know what I'm saying? He did his thing with that shit. He still gets hurt to the body. As OG said, Mario Barrios hit him to the body. He spit his mouthpiece out again like he did against Manny Pacquiao. And then boom, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. He showed that you can still hurt him to the body. Now, Keith Thurman being back or the top of the division, I think y'all putting a little bit extra sauce on this win. Like Mario Barrios was coming up from 140. We like nobody wants to talk about that, bro. Like he was coming up from 140. He had just got knocked out by a 130-pound fighter, but knockout, bro. What you talking about? Gervonta Davis is a 135-pounder. No, he not. He got one fight in his career at 135 pounds. One fight. He been fighting at 130 much longer. He got knocked out by a 130-pound fighter. So if y'all want to keep it a buck, Keith Thurman, he couldn't knock out a guy that got knocked out by a 130-pound fighter. So Gervonta Davis, his win over Mario Barrios, that shit aging like fine wine right now. Mario Barrios he hit Tank Davis with a body shot. Why Tank Davis didn't spit his mouthpiece out? Keith Thurman spit his shit out. So he did good. He did good. Okay, yeah, 2 fights. My bad. Tank got 2 fights at 135 pounds. My bad, y'all. But the point is, Keith should have stopped him, bro, if he really wanted to say he put on a great performance. So he watched him. He did his thing. But let me tell you, what I saw last night is Keith Thurman back. I would pick Stanionis. I would pick Butayev. I would pick Jaron Ennis. I would pick Virgil Ortiz. I damn sure pick Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford. I'd probably pick David Avanesian. But oddly enough, I could probably pick Urdinas Ugas is the best person Keith Thurman have a shot against because Urdinas Ugas, while he go to the body, he ain't no hard puncher like those guys, and he'll sit and wait on Keith. But everybody else that I just named, shit, you take Keith, I'll take them, and let's see what's up. So him being back, man, hell no, not off of that shit. Not off of that shit. That's why I always say, like, come back, and if you fight like David Avanesian or some shit, or you fight somebody like Butayev or Stanionis or even a Jamal James, then I that shit will hold more weight to me because those guys are established 147-pound fighters. But with what I saw with Mario Barrios, if Mario Barrios can hurt you to the body, why can't any of the guys that I mentioned? That's and right. They bigger and stronger and more athletic, and they gonna cut off the ring, bro.
Everybody, Sean Porter, yeah. Everybody, Sean Porter name. Right.
Yeah, I don't put nothing extra on this victory. This was a tune-up fight. This was a get-back fight. Okay, you did a good job. Now let's see what you do. Let's see what you do. You know what I'm saying? But he got issues at 147. He showed he can probably be like a top 10 to 15, 147-pound fighter, bro. I could think of like 5, 6, maybe even 7 guys that I like their chances. Depending on the odds, I'd put money on them, especially if they make them the underdog. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't got no love for the performance because people were shitting on, and I was too. Like people were shitting on Tank. They were going hard on Tank, and Tank fought Barrios at a lower weight class. Now where Barrios was undefeated and he was the champion. Now we're supposed to give Keith Thurman big props for this shit. It don't work that way to me, man. It don't work that way to me. So to me, he did what he was supposed to do. He took care of business, but nothing that impressed me at all. At all. And he couldn't even drop the guy. That's enough. Like you couldn't even drop the guy. Mario Barrios took your punches much better than he took Tank Davis's punches. Now somebody tell me it's because of 10-ounce gloves. I wish y'all would tell me it's because of 10-ounce gloves. So now the 2 ounces matter and shit. Like, nah, bro. Nah, I ain't sold. I ain't excited. Go fight somebody that's fought at 147 pounds, like they're in career, and they're a 147 pounder, and then come see me. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I know you got that super chat, OG.
Okay. Yeah, but Bole in the super chat, he said, OG, great call last night. Thank you. I like what I saw from Thurman concerning the layoff. Thurman versus maybe James or Crawley to get his stamina and rhythm. And after that, a title shot or Tank next. Oh, yes. Keith, he got the win last night on Bole. And after the layoff, yes, the stamina was still there. No problem with that. Now, I believe that he moves a lot because the body. Now, I don't know what it is. Maybe he's right. Maybe he just got a bad kidney. Now, I don't know if he's making excuses or not, But he did say in the locker room, he moved a certain way. He felt sore on the right side. I don't know, but he just have issues with the kidneys. All right, he just can't take body shots, and that is a problem. That is a problem going forward because right now, and this is why Keith Thurman never moved up. This is why Keith Thurman never moved down because see, he got an Achilles heel, and that's the body shot. Now I know he knew that from the get go. Manny Pacquiao knew that. It's just what it is. Colazo, he found out first of how he don't have body shot, can't take a body shot. So every welterweight will be working on his body. Every welterweight is on notice about Keith Thurman. When you get in there with Keith Thurman, make sure you go to the body. Make sure you go to the body. But in all, I won't say he's one of the top welterweights right now. Right now, Keith Thurman is fighting his way back to get where he was, which he will never get back to where he was. Not as long as Earl Spence, Ugas, and Terrence Crawford is at the welterweight level. Terrence Crawford beats him. Earl Spence will beat him. And Ugas maybe with the style. But Ugas is a little bit better. All right. Now, keep in mind, this welterweight division kept moving when Keith Thurman was inactive. Nobody didn't wait on Keith Thurman. Nobody was trying to get a fight with Keith Thurman. They kept on keeping on. And now look where we stand. We got the young boy. We got the young guns. Now, if Keith Thurman want to make a statement, he should have made it last night. He should have went in there and got Mario Barrio out of there on the 5 rounds. That's a statement. Now, he going to have to go in there and fight somebody else. Now, this is going to be a statement. He need to go in there and fight one of these young, hungry lions at the welterweight division. Then, and then that would be a statement. And then you can say, oh, he's a player. Then you can say, oh, maybe he's back. Or maybe he's that same Keith Thurman. But he going to have to go in there and fight the young, improved young welterweights. That's what
check it out. Check it out, OG. Like people saying about the 10-ounce gloves. Thurman would have knocked him out with 8-ounce. Thurman told us this shit wasn't gonna matter. Now we want to say it mattered because he didn't get the knockout. Nah, bro. Nah, he said it don't matter. So why we gonna make it matter? That's just like when Earl Spence Jr. say his eye is healed. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like, man, his eye ain't healed, but I'm not gonna make no excuses for that man. I'm not gonna make no excuses for Terrence Crawford. None of these fighters, bro. Like that man said, them 10-ounce gloves ain't gonna matter, and now we're gonna sit up here and act like they matter. Nah, dog. I'm not trying to hear none of that shit. I'm not trying to hear none of that when it comes to that. And then he hurt him multiple times. They say he hurt him multiple times. That's cool. So where your dog at? Where your dog at to go finish him? To go be one time again. You know what I'm saying? You used to be my time. You ain't one time no more, bro. Like, not till you show me. Like, I know he been out 2.5 years. That's all fine and dandy. But at the end of the day, just like with Ryan Garcia, when you talk that big shit, when you talk about what you gonna do and how you gonna do it and shit, then you don't do it. Why we not gonna hold you to that shit? That don't make no sense to me, dog. Like, he should have stopped that man. He should have stopped that man. Tank Davis win is aging like fine wine right now. His power is looking more and more relevant right now. So I'm not trying to hear that, man. People making excuses for Keith Thurman because they like him and shit. There's a lot of fighters that I like, but we can't make excuses for these brothers and these sisters when they go in there and they don't perform up to par. Otherwise, if you don't hold them to nothing, then what's the point of being a fan and shit? Like, if you don't hold them to what he said, or you don't hold them to a certain standard, what's the point of that shit? If we big up a performance like this, then they'll just give us some more bullshit, bro. If we act like we happy with this performance and we happy with what he did to this opponent, his next opponent gonna be somebody that ain't that good either, bro. We gotta demand more. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they charging us for this shit, man. I ain't like that shit, man.
Yeah. And I think Barrio took his best shot. Keith Thurman hit him with flush. Now, one thing I did like about Keith Thurman, he threw maybe 3 punches. He missed the first 2, but he hit him with the 3rd. Now, that's one thing about it. When he throws, he keep throwing. He don't stop with 1 punch or 2 punches. He keep throwing. And that what pretty much made Mario Barrio nose start leaking, because he did hit him flush with that last punch of that combination. Now, one thing about it is Mario Barrio is not a big guy. He's not a big guy. He's a tall guy. He has a reach, and he didn't use to reach like he should have, but he still didn't have enough power to keep Keith Thurman off of him. Now, Keith Thurman did bag up. The bigger guy was bagging up from the smaller guy because of the body shot. That body shot changed the whole dynamic of his game. And that's one thing about it. That's the problem. I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep talking about it, but that's a big issue. That's a big issue from here on until he retires, because he's going to have to find a way to protect that liver. He's going to have to find maybe a different style to protect that liver. Now, some guys can hold that foam and the elbow come down halfway to the liver, but Keith Thurman arm reach is not that long. So I don't know. But right now, he need to make a statement with a younger fighter. That's what he needs to do.
I agree. I agree. That's a great question by Jay Washington. He says, "Is Tank a better fighter than Keith Thurman?" Damn.
Wow.
I think so. I think so, because there's a lot of wasted energy in the way that Thurman fights, and there's no wasted energy in the way that Tank fights. If that makes sense. Thurman moves around the ring a lot and he wastes a lot of energy doing that shit. And he's much more injury prone. You know what I'm saying? Tank, he hurt his hand in his last fight, but he's been much more durable. He ain't had to take long ass layoffs. He's younger. I think his skills are sharper. He's better defensively to me, and he's right there in your front door. He ain't just circling around the ring. So I much more prefer his fighting style, and I much more prefer his accuracy with his punches. And he don't like Thurman likes to jump in a lot. He likes to jump in with shots a lot. Tank don't do that. He step in with his shots. He get leverage on his shots, and he already showed once he gets you hurt, it's a wrap for you. Like there's no coming back from that. Thurman lets you recover, and Tank ain't soft to the body like that. Like Tank got a chin and he got a body where the same fighter. Now keep this in mind, y'all. The same fighter, Mario Barrios, he hit Tank with a good body shot. He hit Thurman with a really good body shot. Thurman spit his mouthpiece out. Tank kept coming. So I prefer Tank over Thurman in terms of skill set, finishing ability, and then just overall as an overall fighter and his mentality of a fighter. And he ain't had these long ass layoffs. So right now, I got Tank over Keith.
Okay. Yeah. Right now, like I say, he can't do anything with Earl. I don't think he can do anything with Terrence. Nothing with Boots. Now I hate to say it because Earl's fighting you guys, but you guys has his, like I say, style made fights again. And I think the style that Keith Thurman has by jumping in, throwing punches, because he jump in and try to he reminds me, and this is what makes it so funny. Devin Haney does the same thing, but he's at a smaller weight class. But Devin Haney does it because he don't have a lot of power. So he figures if he jump in, he can make put his weight behind his punches. But Keith Thurman don't have to do that because he does have power. But now, one thing about it, you can have power but don't know how to use it. That's one thing about it. You got like an X-Man and shit, right? You don't know how to control your power and shit, right? So you need Dr. X, Xavier, to teach you how to control your power. And that's what Keith Thurman looking like, right? He look like he can't control his power, but he jumps in with the left, he jumps in with the right, and jump back out. Jump in and jump out. And that's how he fights. He's going to have to do a little bit better than that. Now, if he's back, I say absolutely not. All right. Now, but can he come back? Yes. He's only 33 years old. He still have a shot. Now, keep in mind, that was a title eliminator knockout. That was a title eliminator last time.
That's some title bullshit.
Yes, it was.
Thurman ain't in nobody ranking system. Mario Barrios fighting his first fight at 147. Exactly. How, bro? How you skip over all them people in the rankings to make that a title eliminator? Man, miss me with that shit. I can't stand nepotism, man.
Yep.
I can't stand that shit. How they get to be a title eliminator, bro? You don't fight for 2.5 years. And when you did fight 2.5 years ago, you lost.
Exactly.
You lost, bro.
Yeah.
Bobo, I feel you, bro, but I don't care if it's a a semifinal eliminator, a quarterfinal eliminator, a prelim eliminator. They shouldn't have the word eliminator attached to that fight at all, bro.
Yeah.
At all. Like that shit don't make no sense, dog. I
Mm.
can't get jiggy with that shit. Like miss me with that. Like how, bro? One fighter ain't fought in 2.5 years, and he lost. And that 2.5 years ago, the other fighter never fought in the weight class before, and in the fight before that, in the lower weight class, he got his ass knocked out.
Yeah.
How the hell that's a title eliminator, bro? I don't get that shit, man. They be tripping, man. Boxing be pissing me off.
Yeah. Man, we got Javante One-Time Davis in the super chat. He said, like Mike Rhymes said, if Barrios had a 8-ounce glove, that body shot might have dropped him, since people keep blaming gloves. Yes, sir. Okay.
That's a good
Yeah.
point. You got
Yes,
another
sir.
one from X. X got you too, yeah.
Yes, sir. Exclusive news insider, my man nephew X. Yes, sir. And he's in that super chat. And he said, I think he betting on himself. And in the process, yeah, he was at the betting table before he went to go fight, because he just woke up from a nap. So and he went straight down to the betting table. And I think he did bet on himself. And in the process, he couldn't finish the fight because he was fatigued late in the fight. Keith had Barrios hurt many times. Yes, he did. And jumped off of Barrio. Keith lied. He didn't bet. He
Damn.
lied. He didn't bet.
I would
Okay.
love to be the person he placed the bet with, though, because I'd have called somebody to place a bet for me. Like, yo, whatever he just bet the same thing. I bet he went in there and he probably like, look, man, I'm going to get this decision, man. Let me go ahead and put some money on that shit. I'd love to be that person. Shit, I'd have had somebody put some money on me, too, because I knew he was going to win the fight. I didn't know how. He seemed like he could have got the stoppage. He should have got the stoppage, but, he lives to fight another day. But this damn sure shouldn't be no title eliminator of any capacity. That's ridiculous. All them more deserving fighters that's been in the rankings, that's been busy for the past 2.5 years, we can't skip over them, bro. I hate that shit. That don't make no sense to me.
And this is the only sport that you can bet on yourself without going to jail.
Hey. If I was a fighter and I was nice like that and I knew I was gonna beat somebody's ass, I just take my purse and bet that shit on myself.
Yep.
To beat their ass.
Cause Pete Rose go to jail, get kicked out of baseball, bad on the team and it's
if I'm Tank Davis and I'm fighting Rolly Ramiro, I'm gonna ask Floyd, and how much my purse? Oh, $3 million. All right, cool. I'm gonna go put that shit on me to stop his ass.
Yep.
But man, be doubling up every time I fight, bro.
But I hope everybody enjoyed the fights last night. Facts. They all was great fights. And like I say, the best is yet to come, because we got more fights coming at least in the next 3 weeks. So I hope you enjoyed the show today. Hope you enjoyed the fight calls last night. Hell, I hope you enjoyed the whole fights yesterday. So, and I thank you for joining me and Knockout today on the morning after show. And you got any last words, Knockout? And you can tell them where to find you at?
Yeah, man. Next week we got Daniel Jacobs fighting against John Ryder, so that'll be a good fight. Y'all be sure to tune into that. Other than that, though, man, y'all can find me right here on YouTube. KNOCKOUTBOXING86TV, live every Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. Central. Live every Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Central, and live with the singing OG Kqkc Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. We also drop daily content, so y'all go check out the videos that we drop on a daily basis covering the hottest topics in boxing. And then go follow me on Twitter at KOBoxing86TV. But I appreciate it as always, OG. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Y'all smash the like button on your way out. And that's all I got, man.
All right, I appreciate it. And I am Kqkc Boxing Network. Come on Monday through Friday. Yes, sir. And that's 12:30 p.m. Central Time. And on Saturday morning, we have a call-in show that comes on at 10:30 a.m. Central Time. And also Saturday night, like you said, we got Danny Jacobs and Ryder. I will be calling that fight, no doubt about it. When any fights come on Saturday nights, I will be calling it. And I appreciate everybody with the super chats and the Cash App also. And also, don't forget, the morning after show, we'll be right back again. We'll be right back on Knockout Boxing platform. All right, we got the OG and the young G getting it on Sunday morning at 9:00 a.m. Make sure you be there or be square. So with that, that's all we have. We got my man from the Shy, Stormy B Man, coming up with the call-in show. So with that, I appreciate everybody coming in this morning and hope everybody have a great evening. And with that, thank you and shout out to everyone that came in today. So with that, we out of here and we'll see you on the next one. All right. Peace.